What's going on, guys? This is Cam. In today's video, we're going to be tearing apart a brand called Superfun, a direct-to-consumer brand that has recently seen a huge amount of success due to the uptick of people moving to a healthier lifestyle. So when we take that into consideration, the premise of today's video is how do we turn more visitors into paying customers? Now, if you have a store that has low conversion rates, drop the URL below, because every week starting from today on, I will be selecting one brand that I will do a free conversion rate optimization audit so you can take some of those tips, apply it to your brand, and make more money. So let's get into it. So first things first, the above the fold section. Right when we land on this website, we're overwhelmed. So many colors, so many elements, and no place for the eye to keen in on. First and foremost, you want to remove your social media links from the above the fold section. The only place your social media links should be is in your footer, because the last thing we want is to push people to external links when they have an intent to figure out who we are and whether or not they should purchase. We want to maintain that intent so they can follow through with their end action, which is a conversion. So social media links on the bottom. Right here, shop, buy, benefit, those are two different drop downs, but they're basically preaching the same thing. So what I would do is I would create one navigation drop down that has, let's say shop by category, shop by benefit, shop by, color, whatever those points of differentiation is. And that way, without me having to scroll and look around, I can consume the same amount of content in one screen as opposed to two. Remember, guys, attention spans are very, very limited. Now, I'm not a big fan of using miscellaneous pages on the navigation bar, and that's because, again, we want to facilitate a buying decision, and the contact page is not facilitating a buying decision, especially at this stage of the buying journey, because when they come onto your above the fold section, they don't know who you are, what you do, and really what sets you apart. So the contact section, again, it can definitely be used on the footer. Not a big fan of it on the actual main navigation. Now, as we go down, when we look at the header, easy and healthy hydration, super direct, easy to understand. It doesn't pique any curiosity, but again, I think it's a good start. Just add water or milk. It looks sort of like a run-on sentence, but I like the simplicity of it. A lot of times, people are using these like catchphrases that's overdoing it, and you're sort of telling the end user to burn calories trying to understand your offer. Guys, keep it stupid simple. Keep it stupid simple. Simple still sells. And then you have a CTA, shop sugar-free superfoods. First and foremost, from a color standpoint, that doesn't really look like a contrasting color. Doesn't really look like a button. I mean, I would add a directional cue. I would use a color that really, really pops. And this is already a very colorful design. That's why I know that color is not really going to pick up on the core action you want, which is clicks. So definitely would change the verbiage on the CTA as well. Right here, you're preaching your herbal tea, right? That is the only product that initially catches my eye. So I would associate this benefit and this subtext to this product. But here you're saying we have an array of different superfoods. Now you're creating an inconsistent user experience because you're preaching one thing and then you're pushing someone to something that you're not preaching. So that friction is only going to hurt you, because now you're adding steps to the buying decision. If you're going to push people to all your products, which to me, this is probably a category page, you're going to need to show your products in a bigger assortment so people understand, oh, this is not just a tea brand. This is a brand that has X, Y, and Z solution. And this concept, which is just add water and milk to get easy and healthy hydration, applies to all these products. Right? And you want to keep your messaging consistent. Continuously drill that point in. Don't start with any confusion, especially on the above the fold section. Now, as we go down, you have like the array of products you currently have. So you got the matcha, the fruit punch, the iced tea, and then you got hot chocolate. Yeah, so let's talk about the structure right here. So remember, guys, as you scroll down on a website, drop-off rates continue to increase. So when we look at this section, what you should simply do is shop bestsellers by category. You would have different tabs. So you would have a tab for your iced tea, you would have a tab for your hot chocolate, and you would have a tab for your bundles. And as they click, they would see the corresponding bestsellers within that category. This way, within one screen, you're capturing and you're redirecting attention accordingly, as opposed to sort of forcing me to go down to potentially find what I'm looking for. This way, all under one screen, you've maximized my attention and really assisted me to taking that next step with you. So old school treats made healthy. Yeah, so looks like this is where they've highlighted their value proposition. Right off the bat, you want to talk about, the core points of differentiation: sugar-free, instant, and super convenient, right? We probably should highlight your benefit-driven statement right here. And I would probably do it by using 3 icons, by highlighting these 3 core points, as opposed to having it in one blab, which is probably not going to get the same amount of consumption rates you'd anticipate. And that would help obviously drive home exactly why people are buying from you. Now, this is also another great point, and it's all the way below the fold. So when we look at these 3 elements right here, this is very, very important. Whether it's subtly implemented into some of these other elements higher above the fold, it's going to be very, very important, because I would anticipate people are going to find that next step prior to even seeing these elements. So let's say, I was sold on the salted caramel. I come here and this is not a fun product page, guys. Again, I think it's like really overwhelming with the amount of red used here. The eye is struggling to keen in on anything, to be honest, because it's just red on red on red. And from a structural standpoint, you have to ask yourselves, how do I help the eye pick up on all the right elements? I think this is a lot of text here that no one's going to read. And then when we look at the above the fold section, it's a lot of text. You want to probably use like check marks that highlight, your 4 different points of differentiation. Here we want to, oh my God, you definitely don't want to do that. Ingredients, okay, fair instructions for use. All right. So let's say your value proposition is as simple as all you got to do is scoop, stir, and sip. You want to repeat that simplicity across all your products. That is why people are buying your products. They don't really care that they're, getting matcha lemonade. The problem is matcha lemonade is probably very hard to make, and that's why people go outside and they spend $8 to $10 just purchasing 1 cup. So if you guys are preaching superfood instant iced coffee, show people how simple it is to put it together, how convenient it is, and most importantly, show the derived benefit, which is, look, I'm always on the go. I love to have my matcha lemonade with me, and it tastes as good as stores. But none of that is highlighted. And even like from a social proof standpoint, like, come on. I would create, obviously this is a third-party integration, which is fine, but here, have some UGC videos, right? Have some UGC videos, show your ideal client profile, show how they're implementing it within their lifestyle to help the end user visualize how much better their life would be when they implement this product into their lifestyle. It'll increase your conversion rates and it'll increase your AOV, because now you're training the end user to sort of make this fall into their routine. Does that make sense? So with that being said, homepage is maybe a 3 out of 10, and then the product page, it would be hard for me to say even a 2 out of 10. And that's because, and this is a big problem, guys, when you use cookie cutter Shopify templates, you're confined to the limitations of the template. In today's environment, you need to go out of the box. You need to hit all of the right points. And this is why us as a team, we custom code on Shopify to make sure we have all the right bells and whistles to help the end user feel you are the most viable solution. With that being said, guys, this is Cam from SolveX Media. As always, if you are looking for help to turn more visitors into paying customers based off scientific principles we've seen work for 8 and 9-figure brands, feel free to reach out to me directly so we can see how we could be of value. I will see you guys on the greener side.